Ever grab a game for free thinking, why not, it's free, only to find out that you're now piloting a steampunk locomotive through the stars, which, let's be honest, beats most morning commutes. This week, Sunless Skies has been up for grabs for free on the Epic Games Store, and I wonder if it's going to be just another freebie title that people pick up and add to their growing collection of digital games that they're never ever going to touch, or is it a genuine adventure worth delving into?
I'm going on an adventure!
Sunless Skies is not just another freebie to clutter your backlog. This game is an immersive experience that pulls you into a universe that's filled with mystery, danger, and narrative depth. As you helm your locomotive through the hauntingly beautiful high wilderness, you're gonna find yourself hooked by the rich storytelling and the strategic gameplay. So, what's the deal with the high wilderness? Imagine the British Empire decided to colonize space after getting tired of Earth.
Are we the baddies?
This vast celestial realm is part of the fallen London universe and is ruled by these powerful cosmic entities called the Judgments. It's a mix of gothic horror and steampunk vibes with locomotives sailing through the skies. Now, society in the high wilderness is a hot mess of factions and power struggles. You've got the loyalist stovepipes and the rebellious tacketies constantly butting heads. Throw in the secretive Ministry of Public Decency, the tech-obsessed New Sequence, the morally ambiguous Devils of Caroline, and the prophetic Savior's Rocks, and you've got layers of intrigue and conflict to navigate. The themes here are pretty heavy: imperialism, rebellion, and psychological and existential challenges. The setting amplifies these themes, offering a detailed environment where you navigate through moral dilemmas, cosmic mysteries, and the ever-present threat of the unknown. Alright, so what do you do in the game? You're the captain of a flying locomotive exploring the dark and mysterious high wilderness.
I'm the captain now.
This game is all about exploration, survival, and storytelling, and your main jobs are to manage your ship's resources, keeping your crew happy, and making decisions that shape your journey. Survival here means keeping an eye on your ship's resources and your crew's well-being. Fuel and supplies are super essential because if you run out, you're in big trouble. Trust me, getting stranded in the void or facing a mutiny is no fun. One thing that stands out in Sunless Skies is how it tells the story, which is through a lot of reading. The narrative unfolds through richly written text, kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure book. At first, it might seem a bit much, but the quality of the writing really pulls you in. Plus, you get to use your imagination to bring characters and scenes to life.
It runs on the world's most powerful graphics chip.
Imagination.
This game is known for its deep and branching narrative. Every choice you make as a captain influences the story and your character's development. So whether you're pursuing a personal ambition, siding with or against the Empire, or digging up ancient secrets, your story is going to be uniquely yours. One of the cool features in this game is the legacy and succession system. So when you die, and trust me you will, someone else is going to take over as captain and inherit some of your perks and progress. This ties in perfectly with the game's theme that you're not a hero. You're just another person trying to survive the harsh reality of life in the high wilderness.
Don't be a hero.
This is a really interesting aspect of the game which I previously encountered in games like The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and Baldur's Gate 3. It's really one of the most compelling aspects of Sunless Skies in how it handles your role in the universe. You're not the destined hero, you're just another soul trying to survive. Your character is a small part of a much larger picture with their own issues and personal agenda. This realism, where the world moves on with or without you, adds a deep sense of immersion. Your actions have consequences, but they don't dictate the entire universe. The game reminds you that your power has limits, and the universe is vast and complex. Hey, if you're enjoying this journey through the high wilderness, why not hit that like button? It's like adding a bit of extra fuel to our locomotive. And if you want to join our crew, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell too. Just remember, no immunities allowed. Right from the start, the game hits you with tough choices. For example, your adventure begins with a mysterious legacy, a giant black box left to you by the previous captain. What you do with it is completely up to you. You could sell it for some quick cash, you could unlock its secrets by trying to open it, or you could honor the captain's last request and deliver it intact. Each choice takes you down a different path.
To listen to the wishes of their captain.
Combat in Sunless Skies features real-time battles where you maneuver your locomotive against enemies. So upgrading your ship with better weapons and defenses is crucial for survival. However, the real challenge often lies in managing resources and your money rather than the combat itself. Resource management is critical. Your locomotive needs fuel and your crew needs food and pay. You keep them happy or face the consequences. Terror is a constant threat creeping in when you're in the dark exploring new territories. High levels of terror can lead to hallucinations and catastrophic failures, so you're gonna have to manage it wisely. Now, let's just quickly talk about the game's performance on the Steam Deck. Sunless Skies runs beautifully on this device, maintaining its atmospheric charm and detailed visuals and everything, no problems there. Installation is also super easy if you've bought the game on Steam, even if it's not fully verified. And if you've got it from the Epic Games Store, you can use the Heroic Games Launcher or non-Steam launcher. I've made a couple of videos on how to do this. I did use a different game, but the idea is the same and it really applies to any game that you have on the Epic Games Store. I'm going to leave a link to those videos in the description below. It's going to be right under the like button. But here's a little tip before you start the game on the Steam Deck, or even if you just want to use a controller on your PC, make sure to enable the controller in the options menu, because unlike most games that recognize a controller right out of the box, Sunless Skies requires you to manually enable it by ticking the Use Controller box in the controller options menu. This took me a while to figure out, and during that time, I had to resort to cannibalism in the game because my crew started dying one by one because we ran out of resources. Trust me, you don't want to end up as someone else's meal because you couldn't figure out the controls.
Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
You're also going to be pleased to know that this game has been reviewed very well amongst critics, with open critics giving it a mighty rating with a top critic average of 85% and 88% of critics recommending the game. Also on Metacritic, the game has received a generally favorable rating with a ranking of 87 out of 100. Chris Schilling from PC Gamer gave the game a score of 90 out of 100 and said, quote, "It works because of how brilliantly those disparate elements combine to produce exciting stories. From scrapes you survive by the skin of your teeth, to moments where your own hubris gets you killed. It helps that death means something, because that elevates the stakes when you're one direct hit from a yawning hole opening up in your hull, and some hideous monstrosity is circling around for another attack." End quote. Metro Game Central scored the game 9 out of 10 and said, quote, "There's a thick vein of dark comedy to proceedings as your characters try and inevitably fail to cope with the insane world they find themselves in and the constant reminders of their own immortality." End quote. David Wildgoose from GameSpot scored the game 8 out of 10 saying, quote, "At its best, Sunless Skies is a triumph. Its writers have crafted a world of endless wonder where seemingly anything is possible. At heart, it's a text adventure that conjures the imagination to send you on a journey as spectacular and memorable as any big-budget graphical blockbuster." End quote. So, as we wrap things up, I just want to mention that Sunless Skies is more than just a fleeting distraction. It is an odyssey that challenges both your spirit and intellect. This game invites you to delve into its richly crafted universe, where every journey tests your strategic thinking and decision-making abilities. If you're ready for a journey that will test your resolve and captivate your imagination, Sunless Skies is definitely worth your time. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to check out the full review of this game on my free Patreon, which of course is and will always be free, no paywall whatsoever. The link is going to be pinned at the top of the comment section. Happy exploring, and I'll see you in the next one.